What's up?
What's up guys, welcome to another video. So in this video I'm going to be going over how to deal with Emerald Defender Jade. Now I probably should have made this video like the first week this game came out, because this character has been a menace for a long time. Now I've spoken before that Jade isn't really that strong of a character once you break it down like at the pro level, but like in Kombat League and in casuals, Emerald Defender Jade, this little bitch right here, hella annoying to fight against. You know what they all do? Jump back, throw projectiles, 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 random overheads, random down twos. That crap be annoying. And if you don't know how to like punish everything that she has, you're gonna get mocked by this character. And I did a tier list video a couple days back, and people think she's higher up on the tier list because of how annoying she is. So I'm here today, I'm gonna show you all her weaknesses and help you have a better chance at beating these rando Jades in Kombat League. First things first is going to talk about the most oppressive thing she has, and that's her zoning. So I'm going to put her full screen and I'm going to go over like all her projectiles and just kind of explain how they work and what's the best way you could avoid them. So first things first, she has her standard low, whatever, you can just jump over that, no big deal. She has her straight projectile, she's able to enhance it, but both those projectiles are high, so if she does them far away, you know, you can just duck them. Now she has this upward projectile. Now look at the angle of it. This is mainly more to stop people who are jumping, and just mainly jumping in an arc. If you notice, if you're anywhere in the mid-screen range, this is going to completely whiff. Or like you see in the top right of the screen, then you're safe if you happen to jump and stay up there. But aside from that, you know, you're safe if you're in mid-screen. Now if she enhances it, it covers half of the mid-screen. It covers like, you know, this section. But if you're like really close to Jade, like between where Jade is and the little bell here, you're safe from that move. And her most annoying one without a doubt is her air projectiles. Now for max range, the first one doesn't hit, but the EX1 will always hit you. Now if she does it from max range, all you have to do is, you know, let the first one hit the floor and then you could just jump over the second one. Now if she's a little bit closer, you do have to eat it. But with this projectile, I would say you just eat the projectile, let her waste her meter, because once she doesn't have this air projectile anymore, you don't have to worry about too much. Because this air projectile, don't try to punish it like in your face. You see like it's -8. Even if she does a jump kick and does it, which is the most unsafe way she can do it, it's still +10. Now if she does the regular one like that, you may be able to punish it with Sub-Zero slide or something like that. But for the most part, their projectiles are always safe. And if you're able to and you're close enough, you can kind of see there's a spot underneath Jade where, you know, the projectile doesn't hit. If you're like really close to her, you can try like dashing under, get under those projectiles, and then you can get a punish. But with Jade, the key is you just don't be too hasty, just work your way in, because once she spends these 2 bars, she doesn't have too much. Like I said, you can jump this, or hell, just block it or flawless block it. You can duck this, you know, and you can work your way in. Now one of the most annoying things about Jade, yeah, her zoning is good, but the worst thing is you can't zone her back because she goes purple and all projectiles go through her. Now there are some characters like Cetrion that have projectiles that actually Jade. So let me just show you an example. Like for Cetrion, she has her vines. Her vines are actually able to hit Jade when she does it. You see, even though she's purple, the vines still hit her. So Cetrion has an answer. Shang Tsung's corpse drop and Sonya's like satellite or whatever from the air, they also hit Jade when she's purple like that. So some special moves are able to hit her, but of course not all characters have that option. Another way you can deal with it, this purple stuff, when I counted, it lasts about 5 seconds. So what you can do is, when you know it's about to end, you can time a projectile to hit Jade at the same moment that the purple stuff goes away, and she won't have time to activate another purple like before the projectile hits her. And most of the time Jades don't really worry, they're like, oh, I'm purple or whatever. They don't really count the timing all that time, how long it lasts. So usually if you time a projectile correctly, because if you know how long it will last, you can usually get a hit like that, and that will help you get in on Jade. Now another thing Jades love to do as you're getting in, they love to just do random Nitro kicks, just to randomly throw you off. Now we all know, of course, that Nitro kick is punishable. You see it's -18, but the mix-up here is like she can either do a regular or enhance it. Now they're both punishable, of course, but it's like it's hard to try to punish this one because then you're scared of the EX one. You end up trying to wait a second to see if the EX comes out. You're like, okay, the EX didn't come out. Now let me try to punish. You try to punish with a high attack, and then she mashes down 2 in your face. I know that's happened to everybody here. It's happened to me many times before. Now you could avoid that mix-up altogether if just every so often as you're trying to get in on Jade, just duck. Because this is a high attack. So you can just totally duck it, get a down 2 punish, whatever. You can get a full combo punish if you duck it. Now there is another way you can deal with it. If you happen to block, now there's 2 ways you can deal with it. Now you could either like try to punish it at the last possible frame. So if you press a button, you know, you end up blocking this attack, the second part. Because in this game, if you press a button at the same time you block, nothing will come out. So you could time it to punish this, which has to be like the last possible frame of punish. And if you press a button and she enhances it, you still block the enhance anyway and you could punish it. But personally, I find that very difficult because you really have to be frame perfect. If you're too early, you get hit. If you're too late, you don't get a punish. So the easiest thing you could actually do is try to punish this move absolutely immediately. Just press stand 1-1 like as soon as you're able to, and with the block buffer it's much easier to. And what that allows you to do is that allows you to interrupt the second hit from even hitting you. Your 1-1 will just beat it out. So that crap is very useful. Now I didn't try it with other characters. I'm sure every character has their own way of getting that done, but that's a really good option select that you can use. So that's pretty much how you deal with like her little shenanigans. But now let me go over just a few of her strings, because a lot of Jades love to do the overhead, you know, the back 3 string. But in this variation, they have a lot of weaknesses to it. You see, I think Jaded is her best variation because of her plus spring nitro kick, or pole vault or whatever. Even though those have their weaknesses, they make a lot of Jade's unsafe strings actually much more viable. But in this variation, she don't have that option. So let's talk about her 3-4-3 string. Now let me just turn on flawless block real quick. So that's the main way you want to beat this string, because if you do the full string, normally it's +5, but you're able to flawless block the last hit of it and it makes it -10. Now there's a lot of things you can do off the string, but there's options to beat pretty much all of it. Now, she can stagger this. It's the only safe thing she can do, because there she's -7. Like I said, if she finishes the string, you can flawless block it, and the last hit comes out in 22 frames. So this is important. The other thing she can do, she can go into a projectile. Now, her projectile comes out in 20 frames, and accounting for maybe minor travel time it has from that close, maybe comes out, you know, 21 frames. But either way, if something is like a couple frames apart, you can flawless block both at the same time. So if you're going for this flawless block, you don't have to worry about the projectile, because you are going to be able to flawless block that as well and get the same kind of punish. Now Jade will sometimes try to EX projectile in your face. Now check this out. The projectiles actually whiff on Cetrion. Now you're going to want to block the first projectile because of this last hit of this. But even if you block it, you're still able to duck the second hit of it. Even if you block the first hit of the projectile, you're always able to duck the second one and always get a full combo punish. Now when you put it all together, so basically if you go for the flawless block timing, you'll be able to flawless block this, you'll be flawless blocking the first hit of this projectile, and even if it goes through the enhanced version, you know, you can just react to that, duck it, and get a punish. So you're able to punish all 3 of those options if you get the timing right. Now the only thing Jade could do to combat that is either stagger or go into this move. Because if she goes into that, it comes out in 13 frames while the other ones come out in 20 or so. And you know, when you flawless block, you have to stop blocking just for a moment. So that move would hit you and that would beat you trying to do that. So that's when the mind game comes in. But the thing is, if you block this, she's -13. If it hits you, she gets minor damage. You block it, get that timing correctly, get used to punishing it, because it is a little bit hard to punish. Because remember, if you fail to punish something, you're eating it down too, so make sure you get these punishes down. But point is, you can get a full combo, and her reward for hitting you with that is very minimal. So the whole mind game and whatnot, like with this string, it's in your favor, because she really doesn't have much she can do. Now let's talk about her 50-50s. Now her 50-50s are her most, damaging thing. The only way she can get actual damage on you besides certain crushing blows is if she hits you with her double overhead, because that leads to, a good juggle and good damage. But this string, upon all aspects, is very punishable. She staggers the first one, minus 19, does both hits, minus 13. Not so punishable, but up close she is. She can go some 50-50. She can go into lows after this, but of course that's punishable too. Now there's a little bit more to it to this string. Now if she does it in your face, like she does a jump in and tries to like mix you up with the overhead or whatever, that is fuzzyable, because when she's this close, the second part of the overhead you see comes out in 25 frames and the low comes out in 20 frames. So if she's right in your face, you fuzzy it by blocking low and overhead first, and both options, since you're that close, it's a very easy punish. Now just so you know, you can flawless block in between these two overheads, and if you flawless block the first overhead itself, the second part won't come out. Like you see, I'm pressing both, like 2-1, it doesn't come out. So if you're able to like react to 28 frame stuff and you're kind of far away and you want an easy punish, you can just flawless block the first hit. If you're like Ninja Killer or something and you have godlike reactions. But just so you know, that is a possibility. But the main thing is, there is a gap between this overhead. So it gets a little bit harder to deal with her overhead when she's far away, because you can't quite fuzzy it no more. Because yes, this is still the same, last hit 25 frames, this is 20 frames. But when you're far away like this, you have to account for travel time. Because when you do the low from this far away, you see there's a little bit of travel time before it actually hits you. With that travel time, it almost makes the low and overhead go on the same frame. And in some distances, it depends. Sometimes you block low, then the overhead, sometimes you block overhead, then low. So it's very difficult to identify where you're at and to see how you fuzzy it. Now, you can react to the second hit, like it comes out in 25 frames. The way I see it, if something is like 20 frames or higher, it is technically reactable. But it's still, in the heat of the moment, it is a little bit hard to react to. So when she does the overhead at a farther range, I developed an option select which actually covers your options pretty nicely. Now if she does the overhead like this and into the low, there's enough time for you to actually jump out between that, jump in on Jade and get a full combo punish. And if Jade were to do her overhead, you can still jump out, like you're able to like leave the ground, but you're still gonna get hit. But when you get hit like that, she can't get a juggle situation off you. Like if she hits you airborne, you kind of just fly away. So basically with that option select, if she goes for the low, you get a full combo punish. If she goes for the overhead, yeah, you get hit, but you just get kicked so far away, she can't even get a combo on you. But remember, that's only if she's far away. If she's in your face, you're not going to be able to jump out of the low. It's just too close, comes out too fast, and you're going to get hit. Remember, when you're up close, just do a fuzzy guard. If you're far away, I say the best, either if you're good at reacting to the overhead, then just react to it and get a punish while you can. Now, when she's far away like that, it is hard to get a punish. I would just say, just flawless block the second hit if you're far away, and then you can like do a micro dash, punish or whatever. But just make sure, you know how to punish it if your character is able to from that range. Or you could just do the option select that just showed. And the last one for her strings anyway I want to mention is her back one. Because her back one, again, can go into her overhead or can go to her low. This one, you can't fuzzy. The low comes out 20 frames, overhead comes out in 21. Accounting for travel distance, they probably come out on the same frames. If you're able to react to it, awesome. But you don't really need to, because the reward is very minimal. This gets like 60 damage, this gets like 60 damage. It's very low. You block either option, just make sure you know how to punish it. Because you see, from any range she does it, minus 23, minus 23, like even from like max range, it's like hella punishable. The overhead's always punishable. Every character can punish this move, so there's no way Jade can really make it safe unless he tries to do stuff like that. But again, you can just duck the projectile. So this move, just know how to punish it. That's the main thing. If she mixes you up with it, whatever, it's not going to do all that much damage anyway. So the last thing I want to talk about has to do with her down 4. Her down 4 is like redonkulous. I mean, this range is deceptive. It doesn't look like it's that good, but look how far this crap is. So that poke is really annoying. A lot of Jades out there, just as soon as they get a counter poke situation, they just keep poking you with this, and then they're able to like dash back and run away. So what you want to be able to do is, you want to know your Abare situations against Jade, and the main Abare situation you want to know against Jade is how to deal if she just mashes out this poke. So basically what you want to know is how you're going to bait out this poke and how you're going to punish it. So it is very difficult to do. It's not just a simple poke bait, because normal poke bait is like, you know, you do a button, you do a very slight backdash, and then you do your mid or whatever, and then you beat the poke. But this button has so much range, you just have to know for your specific character a very specific thing to do for it. So I have Cetrion, so I did one for her because she's like the queen of Abare situations. So let me just you know, record. This is how you would test it, by the way. So you go to record, get up reversal mode, and just have Jade, you know, do her down poke. So as soon as you press a button on her, she does down poke like that. So with your character, you want to see, is there a way you can bait out the down fork, especially if you know they're gonna mash it, and see what your options are. Now even with Cetrion, she's an Abare queen, but it's very difficult for her because normally she can just do 1-1 and backdash. But you see that this has so much range, it still hits her most of the time when she tries to backdash, which is pretty ridiculous. Even when she does this move here, has a lot of range, it still can't necessarily backdash. Now for Cetrion, the way she can do it is she can like have the second part of her string hit, and then she's able to backdash. So this is what it would look like if you do it right. Or you can do it with her mid. So stuff like that I would try to find for your character, especially if you're fighting a Jade that likes to just mash those buttons. Because, you know, every character has some kind of button that leads you into like an Abare situation, and I have a video on Abare situations. I'll have a link on the top right. So especially against Jade that likes to mash that, just, you know, find your way of beating it. Some characters unfortunately can't even do anything about it. It's just the nature of the game. So let's see what you can do against that. But if you're able to like poke bait that, definitely go for it, because Jade's like to abuse it, because this crap from Jade is really freaking good. So that's basically it for Jade. Is just, you gotta be patient with her zoning, just let her spend her meter until she can't do this crap anymore, that she really can't do much. She might try to mash this out. Remember, you can duck it, and you remember the option, select the punish, both options if you happen to block it. Remember, fuzzy this, or do the jump option select if it's far away. That's how you deal with it. If you block this mix up, full combo punish. You block this, full combo punish. Don't forget, flawless block this. You can flawless block that. Always duck the second hit of this. Basically, just know your punishes, maximize every single time Jade makes a mistake, and you're gonna see why Jade is like actually B tier. She's high tier online, and if you don't know how to deal with her, but if you know how to deal with her, she's actually not all that good. Well, that's about it for the video today, guys. If you guys enjoyed, just make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Follow me on Twitch, and I'll see you guys next time.